Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Senator Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Tuesday, November the 19th, 2024. Got a happy birthday shout outs to a slew of people. How about David Moyot, Jennifer Rochelle, Brandy Croney, Brandy Sue, Ashley Nichole, Ashley Schneider, and Cindy Welch. So, without further ado, here's a birthday song for the six of you. Hey Cindy. Hey Ashley. Hey Ashley. Hey Brandy. Hey Brandy. Hey Jennifer. Hey David. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Wow, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Day today. It's your happy birthday day today. Hey David. Hey Jennifer. Hey Brandy. Hey Brandy. Hey Ashley. Hey Ashley. Hey Cindy. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Wow, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Day today. It's your happy birthday day today. Happy birthday to the six of you and many, many more blessed birthdays. Amen. Okay. Amen. All right. How about that Shen Show fans? We got them too. Diana Gray, Martin Kelly, a.k.a. Smiley, Savann Murphy Beason, Lori Moore, a.k.a. Thumper, a.k.a. Lori Taylor, a.k.a. Thumper, Rico Murphy, and Jarvis Johnson. Wake up. Backspace. Go to sleep. Alrighty, there we go. Those are your Shen Show shout outs. We're going to bring that weather forecast to you from Helping Hands Thrift Store in Foster Care Closet. Well, looks like they got their new building. It's located at the 41010 Mexico Road in St. Peter's. And you can start taking donations to that location once the other people get out of the building, and then they get in there and they start getting everything set up and stuff. But for right now, still taking donations at 3045 Ridgeview Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. So go ahead. They're taking anything inside and outside. So keep your donations coming. All right. All right. Whoops. Temperature. Today's high temperature was 70 degrees out there. So that was well worth it. I was out there in it, having a good time, enjoying the heat, the warmth, the marvelous warmth. I just got slammed back into my chair. I was going to move forward just a little bit. Wind speeds were kind of moderate. 5 to 10 miles an hour. There we go. But for the remainder of the day, we're going to have clear skies this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures of 43 degrees Fahrenheit with winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, Wednesday, November the 20th, generally sunny skies with high temperatures of 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts are quite possible. Pretty cloudy over, or partly cloudy over skies over the night, throughout the night. Low temperatures of 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west to northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Again, higher wind gusts are possible. Then for Thursday, November the 21st, partly cloudy skies with gusty winds. High temperatures of 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds west to northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Winds could occasionally gust up over 40 miles per hour. Cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures near 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, November the 22nd. Cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon. High temperatures of 46 degrees Fahrenheit with winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. A few clouds from time to time with low temperatures near 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds light and variable north to northwest. We're going to call it 5 to 10 miles per hour, not light and variable. All right. And then Saturday, November the 23rd, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High temperatures of 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures of 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds south to southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the Central viewing area. Seeing partly cloudy skies with high temperatures of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And, I'm sorry, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies overnight, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. With winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast brought to you today by Helping Hands Thrift Store and Foster Care Closet, located at, well, still not a permanent location. So, anyway, they're coming back, folks. They're coming back. They found a place. They found a building. Speaking of found things, let's find a thrill. Song lyrics, Blueberry Hill. Song lyrics, Blueberry Hill. Found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill, when I found you, the moon stood still. On Blueberry Hill. Oh, oh, and treat me till my dream came true. In a night when in the willows play, love soft melody, but all of those vows were never to be. Thou we're apart, your part of me still, for you were my thrill on Blueberry Hill. When the wind in the willows play, love's sweet melody, but all those vows that we made were never to be. Though we're apart, you're part of me still, for for you, for my thrill, on Blueberry Hill. Okay, next we'll sing. That made me think of something else. Oh, song lyrics you'll never find. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. You'll never find. Oh, as long as you live, someone who loves you tender like I do. You'll never find. No matter where you serve, someone who cares about you the way I do. Well, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one you love, and there's no one else, no one else you'll never find. It'll take the end of all time, someone to understand you like I do. You'll never find the rhythm, the rhyme, all the magic we share, just us two. Well, I'm not trying to make you stay, baby, but I know somehow, someday, somewhere, you are. 'Cause you're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Late in the midnight hour, maybe. When it's cold outside. You're gonna miss my love. and you'll never find another love like mine. Someone who needs you like I do. You'll never see what you find in me. You'll keep searching and searching your whole life through. Well, I don't wish you no bad luck, baby, but there's no ifs and or buts, maybe. You're gonna you're gonna miss my love. I know you're gonna miss my loving. You're gonna you're gonna miss my love. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So late in the midnight hour, oh, when it gets real cold outside. I know, you're gonna miss my love. And let me tell you that you're gonna miss my love. Hey, you're gonna miss my love. Yes, baby. When I'm long gone, I know, I know, I know. See, you're gonna miss my love. Okay, that was Lou Rose. A little Lou Rose for you. Oh, let's see. Um, we're gonna do the Everly Brothers. No, 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 no. What is that song? Top Gun. Um, song lyrics. You lost that loving feeling. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness I like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show me, baby. But baby, I know you've lost that loving feeling. Whoa, whoa, that loving feeling. You've lost that loving feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no welcome look in your eyes when I reach for you. And girl, you're starting to criticize the things I do. Oh, oh, it makes me just feel like crying. 'Cause baby, sometimes a beautiful thing is dying. 'Cause you lost all that loving feeling. Whoa, whoa, that loving feeling. You lost that loving feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa, whoa. Baby, baby, I get down on my knees for you. If you only love me like you used to do. Ooh, ooh. We had a love like you don't find every day. So don't let it slip away. I said, baby, baby, I'll get down on my knees for you. If you don't love me like you used to do, ooh, ooh. Oh, I need your love, I need your love. Oh, I need your love, I need your love. So bring it on back. Now, bring it on back. Bring it on back. Hey, you've got to bring back that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. Bring back that love and feeling. 'Cause it's gone, gone, gone. And I can't go on. Oh, 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 oh. I said, bring back that love and feeling. Whoa, whoa, that love and feeling. Bring back that love and feeling. 'Cause it's gone, gone, gone. Oh, 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 oh. I bring back that love and feeling. Oh, oh, oh. That love and feeling. Bring back that love and feeling. 'Cause it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa, whoa. All right. Hey, somebody like it. I'd like somebody, anybody, like that song of mine. Because Dean Martin, uh, song lyrics, everybody loves somebody. Everybody, I love somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kid just told me my sometime is now. Everybody, I love somebody. There's no telling where love may appear. Someone seen in my heart keeps saying my sin. Some places here. If I had it in my pillow, I'd arrange for it, a girl, to have your child. And then every day, every boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And all of my drink was overdue. Your love made it well worth waiting for someone like you. And uh, if it's in my pillow, I would arrange for it every girl to have your charm. And then every moment, every hour, every boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love your love man, it's well worth waiting for you, for my sometime like you. Everybody I love sometimes. I do 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 do. wonder if I can do this one. Oh boy, where love is king, when boy meets a girl, heard what they say. Oh, and the moon get you high, I like a bigger pizza pie, that's amore. Oh, and the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. The bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing a lot ballet. Hearts will play, chippy-chippy-tay, chippy-chippy-tay. I like a gay, a tran, a chile. Oh, when the stars make you drool, I like a pasta, a federo, a la tamare. And when you dance and strip the streets, whoa, with a clothes at your feet, that's amore. And when the stars make you drool, just like a pasta, festival, that's amore. And when you dance in the streets with a cloud at your feet, that's amore. And when you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, Senor, sesame, but you see, back in old Nichole, that's amore. And when the moon hits your eye, I like a pizza pie. I want some more. When the world seems to shine, I like you had too much wine. I love some more. Our bells will ring, a ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling, and you'll sing, Bella Bella, and hearts will pray, chippy chippy tay, chippy chippy tay. I like a game, a tarantella, and when the stars make you drool, I like a pizza or a pasta, festival. I want some more. Oh, when you dance down the street with the clouds at your feet, you're in love. Oh, when you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming. Signore, scusami, but you see, I'm back in old Nichole. That's amore, and that's amore. Okay. I'll, I'll be moving. And that's why I raise. I wonder. Song lyrics. Who wrote the Book of Love? Well, I wonder. Oh, boom. Who wrote the Book of Love? Tell me. Oh, who wrote the Book of Love? I've got to know the answer. Was it someone from above? I wonder who. Mm, mm, Remember doodle-doo. Oh, I wonder. I love you, dear baby. You know that I do. But I've been got to see this book of love to find out why it's true. I wonder who wrote the book of love. Whoa. Chapter 1, it says to love her, and you love her with all your heart. Chapter 2 tells you you're never gone apart. Oh, chapter 3 says, hey, remember the meaning of romance. In chapter 4, you break up, but you give her just one more chance. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love. Oh, baby, 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 I love you, yes I do. Well, it says so in this book of love. Ours is the one that's true. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love. Oh, chapter 1 says you love her. You'll love her with all your heart. Chapter 2 says, yeah, never gone apart. Oh, but chapter 3, remember the meaning of romance. Chapter 4, you break up, but in you ever just one more chance. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love. Oh, oh, oh. Well, baby, 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 I love you, yes I do. Oh, well, it says so in this book of love. Well, ours is the one that's fine and the one that's true. Oh, I wonder, who wrote the book of love. Whoa. I said, I wonder who wrote the book of love. A little bit more like the whistle father. Well, come here. Dang, working. The pain, the pain. Okay, it's not gonna work. No water for you, Mr. Magoo. It's just that far out of reach. Oh well. I hate it when that happens. It's the zipper. My zipper condom zipped and my straw went away. How am I supposed to get to it? But it'll come another day. All right. Hey, well, let's jump on into the uh, story time with TV Grandpa. Boom, 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 boom. I like I do. I think this means someone. Could I get you to zip my zipper? If you come in from the microphone side, you won't be on the screen. Can I get you to zip my zipper up? If you come in on the microphone side, you won't be on the screen. You'll be hidden. There you go. Thank you. Had to wet the whistle. Did it all, whistled up and lubricated. Song lyrics, Bill Grogan's Goat. There was a man. There was a man. Now please, a like note. Please like the note. There was a man. There was a man who had a goat. Who had a goat. Well, he loved that goat. He loved that goat. Indeed, he did. Yeah, I love that goat. Just like a kid. One day that goat was feeling fine, and he ate 3 red shirts from off the line. Well, Bill Grogan grabbed him a big him by the back, and he tied him to the railroad track. And when the stranger died, it come into sight. The goat grows bad and green then with pride. He had sighed as if in pain, coughed up them shirts and flagged the train. Oh, Bill Grogan's. I was feeling fine. A 3 red shirts from off the line. Bill took a stick and gave him a whack, and he tried that goat to the railroad track. Well, the train grew nigh, and the whistle blew. Bill Grogan's goat, I was doomed to die. Well, he first turned red, and then he turned green too. Coughed up the shirt and flagged that train. Coughed up them shirts and flagged that train. Sorry, had to go back. Put one into the whistle. I mean, it's hard to whistle up a tune and not be able to find it. Oh, hopefully this and it'll give us what we're looking for. Not seeing it yet. Still not finding it. The one that I want to do. All right, well, how about this? We'll do Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Wake up. Paid fields. Select bill. Fields. Correct that. Spell that. Spell that. Spell that. F. Select two. E. L. Select eight. S. Choose one. And it's easy. Go to sleep. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Okay, kiddos, hey, it's time for TV Grandpa. So it's time to jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed, wherever it is you rest your sleepy little head, because TV Grandpa is going to lull you off to sleep with another brain relaxing treat. Here we go. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. In Knight Arthur's court at Camelot, it was a New Year's Day, a time for grand celebration, and all the brave knights and valiant lords of the Round Table were sitting around with the king, jesting and making merry as brothers Queen Guinevere took her place on the dais, a splendid throne adorned with silk and covered with a canopy of embroidered tapestries. Now, with a crack of trumpets, and the first course began. Delicious dishes were rushed in, fine delicacies, fresh and plentiful, piled up so high there was barely a spot on the tablecloth to set them down without tipping a glass of wine or a cup of beer. Just as the first planters were laid out, a gigantic horseman suddenly sprang through the doors. The stranger was thickly made and strong, and yet, despite his enormous size, he was handsomely featured, and his barrel chest narrowed to a waist, worthy small. But what caused the knights to gasp in astonishment was now not the brawn or the sheer size of the hulk of the road of that rode the horse, but the color of his hair, beard, and clothes, as well as his very skin, and that of all his stallion was well were all the same unearthly shade of green. Yet never a more regal presence did the green person uh, present, for the horseman's tunic, tightly tucked to his ribs, was draped over by a furl lined green cloak, fitted and sewn with an ermine trim, while the creature's green hair and beard fanned out freely, enfolding his shoulders. It was clipped all around, and the mane of his horse was likewise thick, sharing the same hue of green, and was braided with many a golden knot, folded in with gold thread, and was the tall of the tail of the steed, while the stranger held a large and menacing axe in one hand, but wore no breastplate, neck guard, or helmet on, or either battlement per protection, and in his other hand he held a spring of holly, a sprig of holly. Where is the Guinevere of this group? Governor, sorry. Where is the governor of this group? Boomed the stranger. Gladly I would speak with him. To each knight sitting around this table, he cast his eye and studied him up and down to see who the knight of greatest renown. In stunned silence, each guest stared at the creature, some silenced by sheer surprise, others engaging closer, thinking him a phantom or perhaps a kind of a fairy or wizard, while others held their tongues in polite deference to the king. King Arthur stood beholding this adventure as it stepped into the room, and for he was never afraid, said the king. Wanderer, wanderer, you are welcome. Here, sit with us, tell us your story, and share with us what it is that you'd like. Nay, by all this is sacred, said the stranger. I am not here for idle chatter. I have come in search of the bravest knight of a land from this round table. For this is the place where one can find the most valiant of all the land. By this branch held in my hand, you must know that I come in peace. At home, I have armor and a helmet and shield and spear and other weapons that I dare say I do wield with considerable skill, but if the knights here are as brave as other men tell, you will grant me the game that I asked by right. King Arthur replied, courteous knights, if you crave battle with here hands, with bare hands, and no weapons of any kind, you will not fail to find a fighter here. Nay, in faith, I have not come to fight barefisted with any of the beardless young men on this branch, not at one time, or not one of them is a match for me, said the Green Knight with a chuckle and a shake of his head. Nope, I have come for another kind of game. If any of the in this house holds himself hardy enough to trade one stroke for another, I shall give him this axe as a gift to handle as he likes, and I shall sit here to bear the first blow. Now, know only that if I survive the first blow, I may return a stroke in kind in 1 year and a day from now. If the man were stunned, if the men were stunned before, now they were utterly speechless. The Green Knight arched his bushy green eyebrows and waved his beard as he waited for one brave soul to step forward. Wait, boomed the Green Knight after a few moments of silence. Is this King Arthur's house held throughout the world? Where are your conquests and your boastful words? Is all the renown of the Round Table silenced by one speech, and when no fight is even involved? With this, he laughed so loudly that King Arthur grimaced, and the blood shot from for shame into his face. And he turned to the Green Knight and he said, now see here, there is none at this table that is aghast at your simple words. For if it's folly you speak, then by heaven it's folly you shall have. Hand me that axe, said the king, and I'll be the one to strike the first blow. The knights dismounted, gave the king his axe, and Arthur swung the weapon to familiarize himself with its weight and how it swung. The knights had her head, a full head taller than any of those in the hall, stroked his beard, seeming not to at all concerned. Sir Gawain, who sat by the queen, rushed towards his uncle, King Arthur. I beseech you, sir, said he, let this match be mine, for I think it's not seemly for you, our king, to take this mockery to yourself. On those branches sits the finest knight of the land, and while I hold a seat here more because you are my uncle and that we share the same bloodline, than because I have proved myself in battle. I dare say none among us is more weak and feeble minded than I, and none would prove less of a loss to the court should blood be spilled. And so, methinking, nothing, methinks, and so methinks it is proper that I am the one to put my life on the line for this nonsense, rather than you, my liege. So the knights huddled together, and all agreed it was best to move the challenge from the ground and give Gawain the game. And so Arthur bid his nephew Gawain to come forward, and the king handed his nephew the axe and said, be certain to cut him once, and if you do this truly and well, you need not concern yourself with whatever cut may have been planted for afterward. So Sir Gawain approached the king, or the Green Knight, and the two of them repeated the term of the deal. So it was clear to all. The Green Knight added one condition, that when the year and within a year and a day approaches, Gawain must seek himself. That's fine, but where shall I go? Asked Gawain. Where is your palace? If I survive your blow, I will tell you, said the Green Knight, and if I do not, it does not matter where I live. And as soon and so the Green Knight knelt, tipping his hand and holding aside with one hand the riot of green hair to expose his neck for the blow. With one fell swoop, The wind's axe flowed through the stranger's skin, through his very bone, and impaled on the wood floor. And the head fell off of the fell to the floor, to be sure. And the knights fended off it off with their feet, and it rolled. And yet the body of the Green Knight remained firm and sturdy, as if the head were still on it. Though the Green Knight, or the green head, spurted blood, it mattered not to the body that strode over to claim it, holding the mask by the hair with one hand. The body grabbed hold of the horseman's reins, stepping in at the strip, or stepping in the stirrup. The body strode aloft, and the head, still dangling, turned to Glen, released one eyebrow, or raised one eyebrow, and its mouth said, Gawain, in 1 year and 1 day, find me at the Green Chapel, and I am known as the Green of the Green Chapel, or I am known as the Knight of the Green Chapel. And if you seek me full faithfully, you will not fall. And so therefore, come to realize the second half of our bargain, or be called a faithless coward. And the horseman galloped out of the hall, head in hand, so quickly that sparks flew behind the horse's hoofs. And Arthur's heart was filled with wonder as well as despair, and yet he let no semblance of that be seen. To his lady Guinevere, he comforted her. To his nephew Gawain, he said, Now hang up that axe. It has been enough. And so to his men he commenced with the feast. Double portions were served, and the merriment resumed. Soon the full force of winter hit, blanketing the earth with ice and snow. And then the king, losing the snow, scrambled to the warm rains of spring and melt, and melt, and soon it succumbed to the warmth rains of spring and melted into tide rivers. Flowing blossoms covered the trees' branches and dotted the ground, and the ground and the forest tipped green first at the edges and then throughout, and then the birds busied themselves with building nests to their own brilliant sound of song. And before long, the solstice of soft summer locked it in. And when spent blossoms dropped and full-sized dark green leaves unfurled, next came the cool winds of autumn with wind and wrestled, wrestled day by day there with the sun launching had never with the sun launching leaves from each limb that spun to the ground, and all that was green turned gray when droplets of ice on once again frosted the ground. The wind knew that the day of the anxious voyage was drawing near. King Arthur arranged a great feast at All Saints' Eve, and he sent off his knights. And while much was on the minds of the brave knights and fairy lions far lands, nothing but mirth passed their lips for the sake of their beloved Gawain. Now, after supper, the young man sought a private audience with his uncle. Speaking of his passage, he said, "Now, large Lord of my life, I ask you leave, and you know the cost of this taper, and I, bound tomorrow morning, and so the knights of Camelot, good and fine men, all crowded around the king to counsel the night and to express their grief that one so worthy as Gawain should have to go on such an foolish errand. But the king said with good cheer, "Verily I am not worried, whatever our destinations, great or small, without you. Besides, what can man?" Besides, what can man do? Uh, I am not worried whatsoever, because whatever our uh, destinies are great or small, what can a man do but meet his own, come what may? So early the next morning, on All Hallows Day, Gawain asked for his armor, and it was arrayed before him, before his fine steed. Chairs, snow of the pyramid. Got lost. Early next morning on All Hallows Eve, Gawain asked for his armor, and it was arrayed before him. And from his fine steeds, steel shoes, the knight, the two knee guards, burnished bright and tied above his knees with knots of gold that made uh, to a male mesh shirt of bright metal rings, covered by a breastplate, two arm braces, and gauntlets of steel. Nothing was more breathtaking than the diamond studded crown upon his head. On the wind's shoulder was engraved a 5 point pentacle and infinite knot to symbolize truth. Its 5 points represented his five knightly obligations: friendship, generosity, courtesy, chastity, and companionship. The wind clutched his sword and shield, mounted his steed, Grimgilla, and he sprang on his way. All the knights and ladies of the court who watched him ride off sighed deep in their hearts and said softly to one another, "What a pity that a youth so valiant and promising should be sacrificed, and for what? Such a waste." And yet Gawain thought only of his mission, and soon he approached North Wales, where he crossed the river to the wilderness of Wirral, and he stopped everyone he met along the way to ask if he knew or she knew of a Green Knight who lived in the Green Chapel, but none had heard of such a character, and if they had, they said assuredly they would not no doubt remember such a green skinned beast. But day after day, with little food to forage to quiet the pains of hunger, and no company to keep, that his own Gawain climbed cliffs, forded streams, and made his way through hills and mountains, marshes and myrrh, and any rustle of a leaf or a snort of or howl in the dark could mean sudden and fatal trouble for him. Wolves, dragons, bulls, bears, trolls, or boars stalked in the woods and could attack at any time. All this danger he could bear, but for the piercing coldness in the air, which grew damper and icier every day. Sometimes exhausted, he lay on the frozen ground in his armor and wondered if he would ever get back up. And yet he carried on day after day until the morn of the winter solstice. And when, after feeling especially low, he lifted his eyes and to his astonishment beheld a beautiful castle surrounded by a moat deep in the forest, snow covered forest. Gawain goaded goaded his steed Gingalot to the edge of the drawbridge, and then he stopped and admired the castle behind the moat. Its walls seemed to rinse from waters of enormous depths to a wondrous height, and were topped with so many towers and pinnacles, each one marvelously shaped and constructed, that it looked like the stuff of dreams. Soon, out of a high window, a porter's pleasant face appeared. Good sir, Gawain called to the porter, may I ask leave of your lord to dwell here for the night? Why, surely any fine knight such as yourself will be welcome to stay for as long as you would like, said the porter. His face disappeared, and a few moments later a number of servants spilled out the front door, dropping the drawbridge, and rushed to the edge of the moat so they could greet Gawain as he crossed. The servants ushered his horse to the stables, and while couriers and squires escorted him inside, there the king was greatly was greeted by the lord of the castle, a handsome, sturdy, bearded fellow whose bird who bid him welcome, and they all feasted well into the night. For 3 days Gawain enjoyed himself at the castle, spending delightful hours with his host, the lord of the castle, and the lady of the castle, an elderly woman who often accompanied the lord's wife and their courtiers until his mission so weighed on him that he took aside his post, and after thanking him heartily, Gawain asked if he knew of a green-skinned knight who lived in a green chapel, for his quest complete compelled him to find it by New Year's Day. Well, the Lord laughed, surprised, and said, is that all you seek? Then surely you can stay a few days more, since the Green Chapel is not even 2 miles from here. The Lord then proposed a game, and he would go hunting the next day, and Gawain would stay at the castle, hosted by his wife and the lady of the castle. At the end of the day, the two of them would exchange whatever they had discovered for one during the day. Both agreed to the game and feasted well into the night, while the next morning Gawain, sleeping comfortably beneath the costly canopy, stirred at the sound of footsteps coming into his bedchamber. Peeping through the canopy, he spied the Lord's wife coming into his bedroom and sitting beside him. Confused, he pretended to sleep, and then he pretended to awake, surprised to see her there. "Good morning, Sarah Gwen," said the gay lady. "My goodness, it is all too easy for one to slip into your bedchamber with you unaware." She said she loudly enjoyed him, telling him it is indeed her good fortune to have such an esteemed knight as he, completely to herself that morning, with her husband gone for the day and all the servants still asleep. Gawain assured the lady of the house that he was her servant, and behold to her in every way in which she might allow him to rise and dress himself so as to present himself more suitably to her. This she would not allow. She said charmingly, she far preferred to keep him as her prisoner and to take the opportunity to get to know him better. Why, if she had to choose a husband from among all men, there would be no valiant and braver knight on earth to choose from before him. And he reminded her that she had already chosen a better, but declared he is proud he should be so prized by a lady as noble as she. And so their banter continued until mid-morning. Suddenly the lady accused him of not being the famed knight, the wind. After all, why would she do it? And why would she doubt it? He asked. The courteous wind said she would assuredly not allow a lady to leave his bedchamber without a kiss, and so he allowed her one on his cheek, and she left the room. That evening the lord of the castle returned with a great number of deer, By the terms of their agreement, he gave all the venison he had hunted that day to Gawain and asked him what he had discovered or when or why. Gawain drew the Lord to him and kissed him once. Surprised, the Lord asked where he had won such a kiss, and Gawain reminded him that they had agreed to exchange gifts and not necessarily to reveal how the gift had been won. The second day at dawn, the Lord left again with his hunting party, and the Lord's wife entered Gawain's bedchamber as before. After he awoke and greeted her, gazing at her thoughtfully, she chilled him. Why he looked so stern? Surely a knight will trained, well trained in the arts of courteousness and honor would seem eager for another kiss from a lady. Gawain replied that it would not behoove him to take a kiss from any lady not given of her own free will, and she assured him she would freely grant many such kisses, and she kissed him once again, and then she scolded him again. Her here she has sat with him for 2 mornings, and he has spoken nothing of love. Is she so unworthy? She glanced at him that he will not touch her of it and teach her of his arts. It is a great joy to him, said the knight, that such a fair lady would seek such a conversation with one as uncouth and inexperienced as he. But surely she knows far more of love herself. And so they gestured and talked together until she kissed him one more time and took her leave. And that night the Lord returned with a wild boar that he had wrestled to the ground. Gawain took his host around the neck and kissed him courteously twice, saying, "Truly, I have now given you all that I have gained." The night when they feasted together, Gawain reminded his host that he must leave the next morning if he is to arrive at the Green Knight's chapel, and by New Year's Day. The Lord assured him that he would still have plenty of time if he left the day after the tomorrow and entered or entered, and entertained him to stay one more day. Well, the next morning, after her husband left with the hunting party, the fair lady of the castle, clad herself in a mantle, and reached to the ground, exposing her neck and throat, and that was lined with costly furs. And Gawain, who, having nightmares of the impending fate that awaited him when she woke him by entering the room again, she sat by his bed, and she declared that she must know whether he has another lady love to whom he holds dear. And he did not. And so he said, no such love have I. Then she asked for some token of his, even if it is merely a glove, and so she can remember him after he disappears or he departs. It's a long story. While Gawain wished he could give her a worthy gift, for she deserved far more than he can give, and said he in earnest, but it is not for honor that he can give her any such token, even a glove. And then she said slightly if that she will give him a token instead, and offered him a ring of red gold with a sparkling jewel. And this, unfortunately, he cannot accept, he said. And then she suggested yet more vexed that if a ring is too costly and would make him too beholden to her, then he must accept her girdle as a lesser gift. And she untied a lace fastened by her side and handed him her own green silk girdle, woven in a beautiful fashion with gold thread. But this too, he said he could not accept. He begged her to ask for no more favors that he could not grant. And the lady continued to hold the girdle forth. And this girdle may seem as ordinary a garment, said she, but if he knew this its true worth, he would value it more highly. For the green lace is a talisman with magical properties, she said, and when worn by a knight, it won't swearer cannot be harmed or slain by any man or by any magic on earth. Gawain paused, giving his a grim mission scheduled for that next day. This indeed may be a craft worthy trying, worth trying. And so he accepted the girdle, and she gave it to him with all goodwill. And though, as she did, she entered, entreated him to not tell her husband about the gift, and this pledge he promised to her. And keep and Gwen thanked the lady heartily, and she gave him 3 quick kisses, and she took her leave. That night, Gwen gave the Lord 3 kisses, but made no mention of the girdle, Per their agreement, his host presented him, and though with regret, a sole fox pelt, with which was his only haul from that day's hunt. And at that last night's feasting, Gawain reminded his host that he must leave the following morning without delay, and the Lord agreed, insisting on providing him a squire to guarantee safe and direct passage. That night, it may have been the blizzard winds that kept Gwen sleeping fitful all night, or it may have been dread of what was to come that day. But at sunrise, our hero sleepily awoke and bid his chamberlain to bring him his armor. And deliberately he clad himself, not forgetting to wrap the green silk girdle about his waist, and summoned for his horse Jinja to be brought to him. Now the horse glistened with fine care, and that had been lavished upon him, and the drawbridge of the castle was let down, and the knight mounted his steed, and accompanied by the squire the Lord had provided for his safe passage, Gawain ventured into the wilderness, and after traveling throughout the woods and up to the heights of the neighboring snowy hill, the squire drew reins and said, Master, now we are near the place that you seek. Before I go, I feel it is my sworn duty to tell you that none is known to pass this land that has ever returned. Here dwells perhaps the most ruthless and bloodthirsty of all creatures, man or beast. And though you are without doubt a brave and renowned knight as ever walked the earth, surely even you must consider whether it is wise to proceed. None would blame you if you did not, and I assure you, I would never tell another soul alive that you chose to not continue this quest, declared the squire, which is no doubt doomed for you. Nay, said Gawain, I appreciate all that you say, but there is no question that I must continue. And so the squire turned his bridle into the woods and quickly galloped home. Gawain proceeded in the direction described, but to his surprise could see no spires or towers above the trees to signal a stronghold nearby. And then he made his way out a mound located beside a stream where the water bubbled as if boiling. Gawain alighted his horse, tied the reins to a branch, and examined the strange promontory. Now the mound jetting out into the stream had two entrances, a hole on one end and a smaller one on the other side, now both overgrown with green weeds and emitting a dark and foul smell from within. This can only be a place of dark wizardry, thought Gawain. And if it is the Green Chapel, it must be a place of evil magic. Quat, a sharp sound, as if a scythe were struck against a grindstone, clattered on the cliff, and roused him from his thoughts. Who goes there? Said Gawain aloud. I, Sir Gawain, have come to meet my fate. If this be the Green Knight, show yourself now, or it will be too late. And then out stepped the Green Knight, a large and massive green as ever, and from head to foot bearing a newly sharpened Danish axe with a blade that was no less than 4 feet wide. Gawain, said the Green Knight, you arrived exactly on time. Hmm, Congratulations. Now, let us get to business. You know the agreement between us that 1 year ago, a, a day ago, at the New Year's celebration, I took a blow, and today I shall return the blow to you. Where we are in this valley, alone, all alone, with none to serve our witnesses. Now remove your helmet and prepare for the blow, and let's talk no more. Then we did last year before you served me your blow. Do what you must to prepare for it, Lestrade, said Gawain. I will say nothing and will obey it. And Gawain bent his head and he pulled aside his hair to expose his head. Then the Green Knight grasped his sword, drew the grim axe upward, and but as the blade fell, Gwen shrank. It bit with his shoulders, and the weapon settled, stilted in the air. Thou art not Gwen, cried the Green Knight, who is held so brave among men. You pulled away as if you were a coward in Arthur's chambers. I held my head steady when your blow fell to me. My head fell to the floor, but I did not flinch. Gawain, I am the better and braver knight than you, said Gawain honestly. I flinched once, and won't again, unlike you. And when you faced your blow, I knew that when my head it falls, it won't talk later in my hands. I am ready for you to deal me my destiny. I will flinch no more. Have at thee, then. The Green Knight mightily swung the weapon and struck downward, but at the final moment held back. hold aside your wood that Arthur gave you, and said the Green Knight, so it does not fall forward when your head, with you bend your head. What? Cried Gawain. This is nonsense. You're taking too long. Be done with it at once and for all. Forsooth, forsooth, said the Green Knight, I will no longer let this errand wait. Once more, Wham bent his head and the axe fell, nicking the skin of his neck, but not striking through his neck. Gawain felt the sting and saw the blood stain the snow, and yet realized he was still alive, and he leapt away quickly, put on his helmet, drew his sword, and cried, Halt, you, sir, have had your blow, and you shall have no more. Our agreement in Arthur's Hall was one blow for another, and should you strike again, I shall be free to return the same, and so halt. Then the Green Knight set down his axe and leaned against its handle. Blood, sir, said he, there's no need to frown like that. No man will do you wrong or step outside the agreement that we made in King Arthur's court. You have withstood my blow fair enough, and the terms are met. And if so chosen, you would have suffered a far worse blow. My first stroke was utterly binged and did you no harm, as you did none to me with the first night. And all you gained that first day you gave to me as we agreed, and as a true man should have done. And the second blow, said the knight, was also held back, and you were not harmed, as on the second day you did no harm to me, but returned all that you had gained that day. But the third day you did fail me. And so the third day, the third blow drew blood for the girdle my own wife wore rocked is what you now wear around your waist. Oh, I know all about your conversations and your kisses and the wooing of my wife, for it was I who sent her to try to tempt you. And so, if you could be persuaded to set your honor aside, now I know you're as faultless a knight as they have said throughout the land, and I fully commend you. But you did slip a little, and for that omission, the third day some blood was spilled, as well it ought to have been. And yet, what prompted you for that mis- misdread was not evil or convultuous, but love of your own life through. Therefore, I blame you less for that. The young man stood a great while, so grieved was he by all that he had heard. The blood on his chest rushed to his head, and he shrank from shame. And then suddenly he ripped the girdle off of his waist and threw it at the Green Knight. Feet low, he cried, I am feeling a false treachery and unruly have brought me to this sorrow. I will never forget my weaknesses, however long I live. But the Green Knight only chuckled and said, I assure you I am completely whole of whatever ill you wrought to me. Your, your free confession only heals all the more quickly. You are blameless and pure as you were the day you were born. The garment you wore is woven with gold and green, and my own remnant, and I bid you to keep it as a token of your adventure of the Green Chapel. And as the chant, as it chants between chivalrous knights and of our friendship, which I hope and trust will endure. Now, come with me back to my castle, where you can make amends with my virtuous wife. Nay, said Gawain, I will moreover move on, though I thank you commended me to your wife and to all the lovely ladies of your court. And he paused a moment. I will keep the girdle, if it pleases you, as a remembrance of my failing and as a reminder of my weakness. Now, if I may ask one last question, who are you exactly? I will tell you, I am Berlefonds, the, the head, Search, the servant of Morgan Le Fay, and who dwells in my castle. And you know who she is. She's a sorceress, the mistress of a Merlin, the magician, and is a relation to yours since she is Arthur's half sister, Morgana, and Lutway is your own aunt. She is the older lady that often saw accompany my wife, dear, my own dear wife. It was her command that sent me disguised on the errand to King Arthur's court in Camelot in hopes of seeing Guinevere to death, scaring Guinevere to death by the man who spoke with his head in his hand. And now you know everything. I bid you once more good night to come to my castle and celebrate the new year with your aunt and the rest of our household. All my people are found fond of you. So still, Gawain respectfully declined his hospitality, and so the two of them kissed and embraced and said their goodbyes. The Green Knight rode back to his castle, and Gawain headed to King Arthur's court. On the way, they would uh, wound in his neck. The wound in his neck healed, though the wound in his heart remained. And it's a surprise in Arthur's Hall when in strode Gawain unharmed. He rushed around to hear his tale, and when Gawain laminated his disloyalty and acceptance, the sucking girdle, and declared that he would forever wear the garment as a bond of gleam. The blood rushed to his face in shame. So the king comforted his nephew and claimed that henceforth all knights and ladies of the Round Table would wear silk girdles of green for the sake of Sir Gawain. So it was mm, declared by King Arthur, and so it was done forevermore. The end. That was a long story, and I made it through it. Hey, Lisa K. She was in. She's out. She's in. Hey, how y'all doing today? Phew, was that a long story or was that not a long story? And I made it all the way through it. I think I only dozed once. So, so how about that? All right, it's I've been in this for almost 2 hours. I need to go ahead and do the daily bread. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. All right, it's time for the daily bread portion of the program, which is brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024. The Bible with Briscoe 2024 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Ezekiel 11 through 13 and James 1. So don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Of course, I'm glued back in this chair. Now, strong support in Christ is today's devotion in the daily bread portion of the program. And once again, let me iterate that I am not allowed to read the devotion itself. So you should probably turn to or go yourself to odb.org. That's ourdailybread.org to throw them some change so that they can help spread the gospel all around the world. And also so that you can read the daily bread devotion each and every day for yourself. But anyway, today's scripture uh, um, will be Ecclesiastics 4 9 through 12 for strong support in Christ. So here we go. Ecclesiastics 4 9 through 12. Let's get that nectar moving. Here we go. Two better than one because they have a good return for the labor. Now, for if either one of them falls, the other one will lift his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. Furthermore, if two lie down together, they can keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. So they have a strong support in Christ. The more the more that are together, the better off you will be. All right? Alrighty then. Hey, that looks like the end of the Shin Show. And so we're going to say, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This has been Schneider Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show. And as always, we enjoy having you with us. And you know, God loves you, and so do I. So come back and see us again tomorrow because, well, God willing, we'll be here. And we hope that you are too. Bye bye.